Yeah, hey people, it's been a while. I know. I usually um, do something that's all, serious and analytical, blah, blah, blah. It's been a while. As you can see, my hair has grown, roots, it all. This is year number 5. I started November 2005. Actually, this will be year 6 this November. Yeah. I need my showroom done, as Gerard Green would say. Um, I came on here. I know the last time I came on here, I did something real shocking, roll off the hook. And I talked about what was going on in the news here in Philadelphia. But what I wanted to talk about today was a little bit more laid back. Well, maybe not. I never told any of you that, or what I shall say, went in depth. I'm a single parent of an autistic child, and she's a girl. She's in the 8th grade, and I never talked about the difficulties of that. I ain't got enough time or enough film to talk about all that. What I can tell you about is been a definite journey, a definite experience, I should say, because having my daughter, well, first of all, having a girl that's autistic was a rarity in itself. And it was during the time where they were saying black children didn't have autism that she was diagnosed. That was in the 90s. Then it went to, okay, black children can have autism, but not girls. Then it went, okay, girls can have autism, but now there's epidemic, and no, it didn't come from the vaccinations. Although, yeah, the preservatives in the vaccination at the time, the ones that the government were paying for, yeah, it had mercury in it, and it was causing effects to the children's brains. But the mercury preservative, yeah, that has no real effect. But yeah, you have to stay away from mercury because it's mercury poison. It could affect your brain. Years of that, on top of being a teen mother, not knowing what autism is, still to this day, as much research as I've done, I can tell you what it's not, but the definition of what it is still very big and very vast, because there's several different types of autism. My daughter has autism spectrum disorder. Most people see her, they think she's shy, or she's just a little giggly. And at the heart of the matter, she doesn't have any friends because she's bashful, and she doesn't have. I try to give her the confidence. I'm a Christian. We pray about it. She's 13 now, in the 8th grade, and she'll be going into high school, where that's my biggest concern as a mom, that when she gets in there, it's going to be a lot more that she's going to have to deal with, because people are cruel. Not only that, I have to fight the government, and the thing of it is, you see a bunch of different lawsuits that come about, and people say, oh, you can get a lawsuit, get money. They make so many restrictions, and because my daughter is older, they want newer cases, younger children, things that they can for definitely prove, lack of a better term. I had a hard time proving to the school district, to the state, that my daughter was disabled. Even the doctor that she had was saying, oh, she just has a speech impediment. When you're fighting to get help in this system, and you're fighting to get help, and you see all these people that are complaining about, what's going on, and the things that they're complaining about truthfully don't matter. I get so mad when I see the news and I see the Republicans talking about things that really don't matter to me. What I mean by is this: they're worried about health care, and you hear outrageous, really rich people having a temper tantrum talking about, Obamacare is bankrupting America. No, it is you rich people who are out here who are living high on the hog and living ridiculously with money, stealing money, laundering money. Currently in my city now, the president of the housing authority got removed because he was using money to pay off the harassment suits and paying women off. Then he was misusing the money for his own self. The following. He had workers pay for his birthday. They had to pay for his anniversary of him being the PHA president. They were using money for his vacation. He had a Christmas bonus. They treated him like a holiday. He got everything from a Rolex to a flat screen, including a statue of his life-size statue of his image. And yet the housing authority here, the houses here were horrible. People wasn't having clean water. The systems were backing out. Electricity would go out. People were paying rent to buildings that they had to move out of the next day because because the management company that he hired or put in place was a farce. There was no managers. The money was just going straight to PHA. So when you say go to your government, who polices the police? Because the government is out of control right now. You got unemployment rates so high. The residue of Reaganomics still here. I don't care what you say. That trickle down theory is garbage. If you pour water at the top of a sponge, the top absorbs the most, leaving only the little bit to trickle down to the bottom. That's what the trickle down theory really is. But the problem is with this: all good trees and all good plants and all things that are strong need a strong foundation. This is why our government is going through what it's going through. You don't strengthen the bottom so that the top can be supported. You support the top and kill everything at the bottom and still expect everything to go normally. This is backwards. This is not only poor business, this is poor reality, unethical. I'm sorry, because I've studied business, money in college, and I'm currently studying my bachelor's for human resource management. I've studied organizational behavior and all little kind of things, and I see that people fall on incentives, people are out for themselves, but at the same token, oh my gosh, it's like the systems that we have right now in our government that's supposed to help us, the social systems and all that, they're so old and obsolete, they do nothing. We haven't changed certain things in over 100 years, and they only work for that time being. We have to go to the bottom and dig out some of these programs. I don't get how we're a country that I don't know what that's about, but I'm gonna keep it moving. We're a country that functions off of being in debt. We're a country that functions off of being in debt. We're a country that functions off of living high off the hog now and not thinking of later. We have people who were making $80,000 to $90,000 in their 20s, and now they're in their 30s. They're making like minimum wage because the unrealistic expectations and the inflation of salaries and the lack of just being real. If you're making $80,000 or $90,000 at a company and you're in your 20s, what's to say they're going to keep you and going to make you double that if you're there 10 years later? This is something that America has created for us. And even though we're a land of opportunity, sometimes the opportunities aren't worth it. You know, I mean, education, you can't get that taken away from you. There's certain things you can't get taken away from you, and that's the truth. It seems like integrity gets sold here by the highest bidder. I don't understand it myself, but is it me, or is it obvious that the real reason why this country hasn't moved forward because of our president being black? And they're trying to say that it's not because of that, but the majority who are complaining are Caucasians. And then on top of that, our government is supposed to reflect the people. And majority of our government is Caucasian ran. The minorities are so little in there, and that's not the truth or the case of the matter when you look in the United States. We have several races, colors, nationalities, and creeds that flow through here, but our government does not reflect that. And I think it's high time that we start to even out and balance that out. Not only that, there's so many people who are over age or older than the age requirement to be working in the government. There's people that are 80 and 90 that were supposed to retire at 70 that work in the government as far as their positions in Congress and Senate and the House of Representatives. Now these are the rules that they don't abide by. Secret Service workers that are old enough to be somebody's grandfather working in these agencies, that they should be retiring. But of course, wait, they can't retire because the government's taking everybody's pension, because the speakers of the House and all that are spending it on stupid stuff. We're still at war. Can you tell me what are we fighting for? It seems like we're fighting for being more in debt and in trouble and drowning. At least with Egypt, they fought for a cause and they got results. We still fighting, and it's getting worse and not better. And all this affects my daughter because long-term care for her, I have to think, how much money am I going to ever have when she's 20 and she still needs things and still needs therapy? When she's 17, when she's still in high school. Well, leave her in high school until she's 21, even though she's smart enough academically to not be there and to work and to be a productive member of society. Or will they just stick her in the program and make her work at McDonald's, and her mentality and who she is and how I raised her is better than that. Not saying that there's anything wrong with anyone who works in fast food restaurants, but the expectation levels of children that have autism or anyone who's disabled is very low in this country. My daughter's academics does not suffer. She made the honor roll 2 semesters in a row. This goes to show that even though she's in a crappy inner city school, that the funding and the budgeting just got cut again. We already don't get books for our kids here, and yet and still they're still cutting. Why is it that this country is upset that our kids are lazy, that our kids are disengaged and are undereducated, and compared to countries who are less financially set than we are? Because we're supposed to be one of the richest countries, and yet you go to a poor country and these kids are so thriving and willing to learn and have the advances because they make the provisions for the learning. Yet we're, in comparison, our kids are dumb because of the government. Because our focus is really not on education, but it is. We use education to banish people and to keep them in their classes. And we use credit and money to keep them in their classes and to keep people down. But if you see who's running the country, they don't have as much education as they claim. Look at President Bush, the second one. Peace.